This is a video to break down bridge pose, Setu Bandhasana. This is a really great pose to help to find the core line through the whole body, starting at the feet and ending at the tongue and the side of the skull. It also is a really great pose for opening the front of the chest, releasing this whole area of the chest, the diaphragm, and the intercostals. It's also really great for strengthening, depending on the different arm positions you use, of strengthening the lower serratus muscle that helps to anchor the shoulder blades. So I'm going to start with this one and show a couple different variations to use to help to support the body and release it depending on what you need it for. One of the things that's really helpful to have is a block and a strap. So I have my fitness ball, so what I'm going to do is inflate it to use it in place of a block. Okay, so I have my ball inflated. The next thing I'm going to do is take my strap with the logo up, follow the strap all the way through and loop it. So from the bottom, up and down on the outside, to create that nice kind of loop. So this is going to go around the legs. So for me, I have one leg that tends to externally rotate a little bit more. So that for me is my left leg. So when I like to put the strap around my legs, I like to put it so that the bulk of the strap, the tail of the strap, as I would say, is so I can pull it towards my right leg to help to internally rotate the left leg. Going to take my ball. Okay. I'm just going to position myself so that you can see me. So feet are hip width apart. Take a moment to find the outer edge of the feet. Okay, we're going to take the strap, place it around the thighs. Okay, take your block or inflated ball and tug on the strap. So there's a little leaning out and a little gathering in. So I usually take a moment just to kind of lift up my back, just to slide the upper part of the flesh of the body down, just to kind of tug this flesh and fascia down. I sometimes notice that there's a lot of bunching that happens at the top of the shoulders and the neck. You can allow your arms to be by your side. Just take a moment to let go into the floor. Let your pelvis become heavy. Now, depending on which muscles are weak, then if the core is weak, you want to focus a little bit more on pressing into the pads of the toes and the heel and squeezing the ball or the block a little bit more to help levitate the pelvis. If your outer abductors are weak, or maybe you have some SI joint instability, you can focus a little bit more on pressing out into the strap to levitate the pelvis. You want to think of the pelvis as it's on a serving dish, and you want to allow the shins to move forward and the strong rooting in the legs as you lift energy through the thighs and lift up through the abdominals. So I start to exhale, become heavy, root down into the feet, so you can either squeeze or lean out into the strap. Shins coming forward, so you can see my shins are coming forward, and then the pelvis just gently rises without overly tucking the tailbone, without overly gripping the glute maximus muscle. You can feel the glute medius muscle activating, especially with the leaning out into the strap. Lifting energy up through the abdominals, sending energy out the thighs, reaching to the wall in front of me. Okay, to activate the lower trapezius muscle and the serratus, you can bend the elbows and root them into the floor. The other one is lengthening and interlacing the fingers underneath you, drawing them towards your heels to open the chest and the pectoralis muscles. Strong rooting through the feet. As you come down and lower, you can pause for a moment. You can also do the arm flow, where you reach the arms up on an inhale and then exhale overhead, noticing that the rib cage is not fluctuating and that you're keeping integrity of the ribs and the hips. So they don't need to touch the floor. And then inhale up and exhale back down. So I like to do this quite a few times just to release the arms and the shoulders. Inhale, exhale. And then once you start to feel a little bit more open and the arms are overhead, you start to have strong feet, shins forward, strap and block, send energy off the thighs, over the knees, reaching to the wall in front of you, noticing the abdominals lifting up, and then rolling down each vertebra at a time until the pelvis softly releases down. And then you inhale the arms up and exhale down. So I'll do that one more time. Inhale, exhale. Noticing that your pelvis is like a serving dish. So notice that the tendency is a lot of the time to go up with tucking the tailbone under. So that's what that looks like. I'll do it again. Normally we tuck the tailbone under to lift the pelvis. So this puts the pelvis in a posterior tilt. So you want to have the pelvis in neutral and remain it in neutral. And the feet and the feet rooting, the shins coming forward, the leaning out into the strap, the gathering of the block. Face should be able to be relaxed, widening through the collarbone, shoulder blades anchoring down the back body. Evenness of weight, strong feet, dynamic legs. And then you roll down. Inhale and exhale. Undo the strap. Release the ball. Take a moment to go into Apanasana. Maybe a little baby pose, maybe a little shaking. So that is the video on Setu bandha. Thank you.